Yeah, good morning, students. My name is Suraj Mahato, physics faculty in Venpra Academy. So I hope you have done the test well. Let us discuss the paper. Coming to the first question, here we have the force. If the force of gravity suddenly disappears, then what will happen? The mass of all bodies will become zero. No, mass doesn't depend upon gravity, right? Gravitational force depends upon mass. Okay, the weight of all the bodies become zero. Yes, weight is what? Weight is equal to mg, right? If gravity suddenly becomes zero, then acceleration due to gravity will obviously become zero. Then weight itself will become zero, right? So B is the correct option. Okay, so coming to the next question. Yeah, so next question is a body of 50 kg mass, the velocity time graph is shown in the figure. Force acting on the body. I need force acting on the body. So velocity time graph is given. That means slope will be what? Slope of velocity time graph is acceleration. Slope is a, which is dB by dt. Now, what are the coordinates here? This is 0, 0. This is 2, 0. So 2, 2. So it will be y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. That is slope, right? 2 by 2, which will give me 1 meter per second square. Fine. So A is equal to 1 meter per second square. Now, what I need force. Mass is also given, right? Mass is given how much? 50 kg. So force will be how much? M times A. Mass is 50 times 1 equal to 50 Newton. So option B is correct. Yeah. Coming to the third question. Third question says that a block has been placed on an inclined plane with slope angle theta. The block slides down the plane at constant speed. The coefficient of kinetic friction is equal to. So if I have an inclined plane and there is a block on it, there is a block, let's say mass is m. Inclination is given theta. Inclination is given theta. So obviously this becomes what? Mg sine theta. The component of gravitational force along the inclined plane is mg sine theta. And this side there will be friction force. Now it is moving with constant velocity. That means net acceleration is zero, right? It is moving with constant velocity. So net acceleration is zero. If net acceleration is zero, that becomes mg sine theta equal to friction force. Friction force is mu mg cos theta. Mg get cancelled. Mu will be what? Tan theta. Okay. So option D is correct. Fine. Yeah. Next. Coming to the fourth question. So fourth question says that So coming to the fourth question, a ball falling in a lake of depth 200 meter slows 0.1%, shows 0.1% decrease in its volume. So decrease in its volume means del V by V into 100 is given as 0.1%. What is the bulk modulus of the material? So bulk modulus what? P pressure by del V by V. Okay. So pressure, what is the depth given? 200 meter, na? So this is atmospheric pressure on the surface. Here it will be how much? P naught plus rho g h. So pressure will be how much? P naught plus rho g h divided by del V by V. This will be 0.1 divided by 100. That means into 10 power minus 2. P naught you have to consider as what is P naught? P naught is equal to 1.01 into 10 power 5 Pascal or Newton per meter square. H you have to keep 200 meter. Rho, density of water. Density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay. G is 10, H is 200. Solve this, we'll get option A. 19.6 into 10 power 8 Newton per meter square. Yeah. Coming to the fifth question. Two wires of the same material and length, but different. Two wires of same material and length, but diameters in the ratio 1:2 are stretched by same force. The potential energy per unit volume of the two wires when stretched will be in the ratio. So potential energy, right? Okay, what is potential energy equal to? Half into stress into strain into original volume. They're asking potential energy per unit volume, right? Per unit volume means what here? This V will go that side. Potential energy per unit volume. That is half into stress into strain. So, or I can write as two wires of same material. Same material is what? That means Young's modulus of both the material is same. Young's modulus is same. Okay. And length is also same. Length is also same, but different diameters. That means diameter of A by diameter of B is given 1/2. Stretched by same force. Force is also same. So I can write like this: half into stress. Stress is what? Force per unit area. Na? Area is what? Pi d square by 4. Stress is force per unit area. Strain is what? Change in length by original length. Okay. Potential energy per unit volume for the two wires when stretched. Will be in the ratio. So diameter square, this becomes, this is what you, let us take this one as K. So for K, what all things are constant? Force is constant, length is same, pi by 4 is same for both, 2 is also same for both. This 1/2 is also same for both. Okay. Two wires will be stretched, two for the wires when stretched will be the ratio. So the wires will be stretched in the ratio. It will be the ratio of what? Del L by D square. Del L by D square. So this becomes D square, right? So 1/2 whole square. Yeah. And also it is given that Young's modulus is same, right? Young's modulus is same. So I can write Young's modulus is what? Or else I can do directly. Instead of strain, I can write in terms of Young's modulus. How? Stress by strain. I can write K equal to half of stress by strain, right? Stress by strain. This becomes into strain square. Or I can write strain is there, right? So I can write this one as 1/1. Just a second, students. Yeah, k equal to half f 5f4. These all are constant. These all are constant. So k equal to what? Half into stress into strain. Or I can write like this: divide by stress. Just to divide by stress. If we divide by stress, it becomes strain. Divide and multiply by stress. Young's modulus equal to stress by strain. Stress by strain. Now Young's modulus is same. That means stress in 1 by strain in 1 equal to stress in second. Stress in second by strain in second. So stress in 1 is what? Force by area into L by delta L equal to force by area 2 into L by del L2. Force is same. L is also same. So A1 into delta L1 equal to A2 into delta L2. Okay. So we can write like this: K equal to, this all are constant. A1 into delta N1 is also equal to A2 into delta L2. So this is A1. So I'll just write here A1 into delta L1 divided by A1 square, right? This is K1. And K2 will be A1, A2 into delta L2 divided by A2 square. K1 by K2 will be K1 by K2. This becomes, this both cancel. Will be A2 by A1. A2 by A1 whole square. That means R2 by R1 whole square. R2 by R1 whole power 4. So 2 power 4 is 16 by 1. Correct option is A. Okay. So two things we need to consider here: K and Y. Coming to the next question. Next question is, torr is the unit of pressure, right? Torr is the unit of pressure. 1 atm is equal to 760 torr. It's the unit of pressure. Here. Coming to the seventh question. Two water pipes P and Q have diameter respectively are joined in series with the main supply line of water. The velocity of water flowing in pipe P, 4 times of Q, 2 times of Q, half times of Q, so on. So we can use continuity equation. What is that? A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. Okay. So that means this is P, let's say area of P, velocity of P, this is area of Q, velocity of Q. Area of P is what? Diameter is given. See, diameter of Q is twice. Diameter of Q is twice. So I can write area of P by area of Q equal to velocity of Q by velocity of P. What is area of P? Pi. This becomes R of P whole square by pi R of Q whole square. Pi get cancelled. So R of P is how much? Radius is 10 power minus 2 whole square divided by 2 into 10 power minus 2 whole square. That is 1 by 2 whole square, 1 by 4. So velocity of Q by velocity of P is 1 by 4. So now what is that? Velocity of P is 4 times of Q. Velocity of P is what? 4 times of velocity of q. Okay, option A is correct. Clear? This is what nothing but continuity equation. A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. Next, coming to the next question, question number 8. What is given? A water drop is divided into 8 equal droplets. The pressure difference between inner and outer side of the big drop. Yes, pressure difference we need to find. So a water drop is divided into 8 equal droplets. So there is, let's say there is a water drop. This is divided into 8 equal droplets. The pressure difference between inner and outer sides of big drop will be same as for smaller drops. Okay, now how to find this? See, pressure difference between water drops is P in minus P out equal to 2T by R, where R is radius. Okay, R is radius. Now let's say larger drop radius is capital R. Now I have 8 equal drops. Let's say small r. So volume will be same, right? 4 by 3 pi r cube equal to 8 times of 4 by 3 pi small r cube. 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi cancel. So capital R is what? 2 times of small r. So for larger drop, pressure difference is Pi minus P naught 2T by R. For smaller drops, Pi minus P naught will be 2T by 2R, smaller. Okay. Now capital R is what? 2R, na? Or I can write like this. What is given? Half of the smaller drop is, yes. Capital R, I can write 2R. This capital R I can write as 2R. Now 2T by capital R. Okay. 2 smaller. This is the pressure difference due in smaller drop. So in larger drop, it is half of the smaller drop. This is smaller drop. Okay. For larger drop, it is half of the smaller drop. So option B is correct. Fine. Next, coming to the question number 9. Two particles execute SHM along the same line at the same frequency. They move in opposite direction at the mean position. The phase difference will be. Okay. Two particles execute SHM along the same line at the same frequency. So frequency is same. They move in opposite direction at the mean position. The phase difference will be. Yeah. So phase difference will be how much? Along the mean position, they are moving in opposite direction. That means while this is starting, another SHM is moving in this direction along the mean position. Okay. Now, so obviously the phase difference will be what? Pi. How? So for first, let's say it is starting from here. It is x equal to a sine omega t. Okay. Similarly, for this one, x equal to a sine omega t plus pi by 2 for a SHM which is starting from extreme position. So it is a sine omega t plus pi by 2, nothing but cos omega t, right? Cos omega t, which is starting from extreme position. This is from extreme. Yeah. So at t equal to, for the first, at some time, it is at x equal to 0. Here also it is at x equal to 0. Okay. So this is what? A cos omega t. Yes. Now difference in time, once you got it, then after that you want to find difference in phase. So they are in opposite direction, right? At the same time. So phase difference will be pi. Option C. Next. Coming to the 10th question. Particle execute SHM x equal to a sin omega t. It takes t1 from x equal to 0 to x equal to a by 2, t2 from x equal to a by 2, x equal to a. Ratio of t1 is to t2. Clear? Now, it takes t1 from x equal to 0 to x equal to a2. Now we can find like this. Let's say it is starting from t equal to 0. At t equal to 0, it is at x equal to 0. It is taking how much time? T1 time. So T1 time is, it will be how much? X equal to a sin omega t, as it is starting from mean position. And x is how much? X equal to a by 2 equal to a sin omega. This is what? T1. A will cancel. So omega T1 is how much? Omega T1 equal to pi by 6, 30 degree. Na? Sin 30 is 1 by 2. So omega T1 is pi by 6. Omega is what? 2 pi by t. 2 pi by t into t1 equal to pi by 6. So I can write like this. Pi get cancelled. T1 is t by 12. So it takes t by 12 time to go from where to where? 0 to a by 2. Okay. Now t2 time from a by 2 to a. This is t2 time. I know that t1 plus t2 time will be equal to t by 4. T by 4, right? And t1 is how much? T by 12 plus t2 equal to t by 4. So t2 will be equal to t by 4 minus t by 12. Okay. So this becomes t2 is t by 6. T2 is what? T by 6, right? So into 3 I'll do 3t minus t, 2t, 2t by 12. So t2 becomes 2t by 12. That means t by 6. T1 has become t by 12. What I want? I want t1 by t2. T1 by t2 I want, right? T2 will get cancelled. T2 will get cancelled. 6 by 12. That means 1 is to 2. T1 by T2 will be 6 by 12. That is 1 is to 2. B is correct. Fine. Coming to the 11th question. 11th, the variation of acceleration A and displacement x of the particle executing SHM is indicated by the following curve. So there are 4 graphs given. Which of the following graphs represents acceleration A and displacement x? So A and x, what is the A and x? What is the ratio? What is the equation? A is equal to minus omega square x vector. Yeah, x vector. When x vector is negative, when x vector is negative, a vector is positive, and a vector is directly proportional, right? Magnitude is directly proportional to x. So it should be a straight line. And when x vector is negative, a vector is positive. When x vector is positive, a vector is negative. So option A is correct. Okay, let's check all the options. A is given straight line. B, no, B is wrong. C is also wrong. D is wrong. So option A is correct. Correct answer is option A. It's a straight line, and also when x is negative, A is positive. X is positive, A is negative. Yes. Next, 12th. Coming to the 12th question. The ratio of kinetic energy of the particle at mean position to the point where distance is half of its amplitude will be. Ratio of kinetic energy of particle at mean position. So kinetic energy of the particle at mean position is how much? At mean position, it is half m. At mean position, velocity is maximum, right? Velocity is maximum, v max whole square. Okay, next. To the point where distance is half of the amplitude will be. So velocity is half of the amplitude. Distance when velocity is half of the amplitude. So x equal to a by 2. I need to find velocity there. V is equal to omega root over a square minus x square. So omega, this is root over a square minus a square by 4. So this becomes omega root 3 a by 2. This is V. V max, maximum means x equal to 0 omega a. Kinetic energy at what? X by 2 equal to half m omega root 3 a by 2 whole square. Maximum, this is what? Omega a, na? Omega a. So this cancel. Omega a will get cancelled. 2 will go up. So 4 by 3. C. Option C is correct. Next. Next, number 13. The spring constant of two springs are K1, K2 respectively. Spring is stretched up to that limit when potential energy of both becomes equal. The ratio of applied force on them will be. Easy question. They're asking spring constant of two springs are K1 and K2. So let's say this is spring 1, this is spring 2, this is spring constant K1, K2. Potential energy of both become equal. So U1 is how much? Half K x1 square. U2 is how much? Half. This is K1 now. Springs are stretched up to that limit when potential both becomes equal. Okay, so this is K2 x2 square. Potential energy is becoming equal. That means half will get cancelled. I'll get here K1 x1 square equal to K2 x2 square. Now what they're asking, the ratio of applied force F1 and F2 on them will be. So F1 is what? K1 times x1. F2 is equal to K2 times x2. I want F1 and F2 in terms of K1 and K2. That means I need x1 and x2 also. X1 and x2 will be how much? X1 by x2. From here I can say this is root over K2 by K1. This I will substitute here. So K1 by K2 into root over K2 by K1. So answer will be root over K1 by K2. Option C. Simple. Next. Coming to question number 14. A body of mass 500 gram is thrown upwards with a velocity 20 meter per second and reaches back to the surface of the planet after 20 seconds. When the weight of the body on the planet, then the weight of the body on the planet. I need to find weight. That means I need G. Mass is given, na? Mass is given 500 grams. Is thrown upwards with velocity. Velocity is given 20 meter per second and reaches back to the surface of the planet after 20 seconds. Time of flight is given 20 seconds. Time of flight is what? 2u by g, na? 2u by g. So this is given 20 seconds. 2 into 20 by 2u by g dash will be 20. So 2 into u is given 20 by g dash equal to 20. U is 20, 20 seconds. Cancel. G dash will be equal to 2 meter per second square. Now what they want? 500 grams. That means weight equal to mass half kg into g. Cancel. So 1 Newton. Option D. Clear? Next. Question number 15. The mass of two planets. The masses of two planets are in the ratio 1:2. Their radii in the ratio 1:2. So mass of 1 by mass of 2 is given 1/2, and radius of 1 by radius of 2 is also given 1/2. The acceleration due to gravity on the planets are in the ratio. That means g of 1 by g of 2 equal to question mark. Acceleration due to gravity question mark. So how to find this? What is acceleration due to gravity? Is root over gm by r square. This is acceleration due to gravity. So g1 by g2 will what happen? G1 by g2 will be equal to m1 by m2 into r2 by r1 whole square. What is m1 by m2? Which is 1/2 into r2 by r1, that means 2 by 1 whole square. Yes, so this becomes 4 by, that is 2:1. 4 by 2, 2:2. Option B is correct. Clear? Coming to question number 16. Question number 16. Radius of orbit of satellite of Earth is r. The kinetic energy is proportional to. Radius of orbit of satellite of Earth is r. The kinetic energy is proportional to. So radius is given r, right? I want the kinetic energy. That means I need V. Okay. V. So for V, what you should do? Directly we can apply G m by r square is equal to half m V square. Sorry, V square by m V square by r. Centripetal force equal to centrifugal force. R get cancelled, small and small get cancelled. So what I got here, V square equal to Gm by R. I want kinetic energy, that means half m V square, which is equal to half m V square is Gm by R. Yes. So what happens here? What they are asking, radius of orbit of satellite. Radius of orbit of satellite of Earth is r. Kinetic energy is proportional to. So V square is proportional to, inversely proportional to r. So here kinetic energy is also inversely proportional to r. Option A. This is kinetic energy. It is inversely proportional to r. All other masses, all are constant. Yes. Next. Question number 17. Question number 17, what is given? Three particles PQR are situated at point A on the circular path of radius 10 centimeter. Okay, all three particles move along the different paths to reach point B as shown in the figure. The ratio of distance traveled by the particle P and Q. The ratio of distance traveled by the particles P and Q. So P is moving in this direction, whereas Q is moving in this direction. Okay. So this becomes what? For P, distance will be how much? 2 pi r minus 2 pi r by 4. Na? Yeah, it is going from A to B along this path, right? So 2 pi r minus 2 pi r by 4. So this becomes 4 to 8, 8 minus 2, 6 pi r by 4. 3 by 2 pi r. This is what distance traveled by P. Now distance traveled by Q is how much? R plus R, 2R. Distance traveled by Q is 2R. P and Q, I just net this distance. So R will get cancelled. That means 3 pi by 4. That means 3 pi by 4. Option C is correct. Coming to question number 18. Question number 18. In case of a projectile fired at an angle equal inclined to the horizontal vertical with U, the horizontal range is. Equal angle means, what is that? Equal angle is what? Theta is 45. Na? In case of projectile fired at an equal angle, equally inclined to the horizontal vertical. Equally inclined to horizontal vertical, that means this is 45. What do they want? Horizontal range. Range is equal to U square sine 2 theta by G sine 91. So answer will be U square by G, option A. Next. (19) Two ice skaters A and B approach each other at right angles. Skater A has mass 30 kg, velocity 1 meter per second. Skater B has mass 20 kg, velocity 2 meter per second. They meet and clinch together. The final velocity of the couple is. Nice question. So what is given here? There is a mass A and B. Mass, this is given 30 kg. It is moving with skater A has mass 30 kg, velocity 1 meter per second. This is 1 meter per second. And this mass is given 20 kg. And this is 2 meter per second. 2 meter per second. Both are coming together and they are moving together in some velocity, v velocity. The final velocity of the couple is. Okay, in this case, what you can do is, this is a example of collision, right? What collision? Perfectly inelastic collision. So I can conserve the momentum. I can conserve the momentum, right? So let us say they both are moving with some v velocity at an angle theta. At an angle theta. Now, conserve momentum along x-axis. Mass is how much? 3 kg, 30 kg. This is 30 kg. That is 20 kg. So mass is 30 kg. It is moving in x direction. So 1 plus initial momentum along x direction of 20 kg, 0, equal to m1 plus m2. M1 plus m2 will be how much? 50 into v sine theta. Similarly, along, this is conservation momentum along x direction. Then conservation momentum along y direction will be how much? This is along x, right? So this becomes 50v cos theta, na? Along x, 50v cos theta. Next, along y direction, this is 0 plus 20 into 2 should be equal to 50v sin theta. This is along y direction. Clear? Yes. Now, so if I divide both the quantities, I'll get here 3 by 6. That means 1 by 2, na? 3 by 6. This is 4. 3 by 4 I'll get. 3 by 4 equal to 50 cancel cos by sine. That means cot theta. Tan theta is equal to 4 by 3 I got. Tan theta is 4 by 3. But what I need velocity, right? So velocity they couple. Then you square it. Square and add. Square and add. So if you square and add, this becomes sine square plus cos square 1. So this becomes 3 square 9, 2 square 4. 9 plus 16 will get. So we'll get square and add it. So this becomes 2500 v square equal to 900 plus 1600, which is 2500. So v square is equal to 1. V will be equal to 1. Answer is C. If they ask angle, it will be tan inverse 4 by 3. Now to find angle. Question number 20. 2 persons of masses 55 kg and 65 kg. 2 persons of masses 55 kg and 65 kg respectively are at the opposite end of a boat. The length of the boat is 3 meter, weigh 100 kg. 50 kg walks up to the 65 kg mass and sits with him. If the boat is still water, center of mass system shifts by. Okay, nice question. This is a center of mass question. What is there? There is a boat here and there are 2 masses, 55 kg and 65 kg. Let's say this is 55 and this is 65 kg. Boat is how much? 100 kg. 55 kg man walks to 65. Length of the boat is given 3 meters and sits with him. If the boat is still water, center of mass. See, center of mass won't shift. Center of mass won't shift. So let's say this is x. Okay. What is this? 55. It is moving 3 meters. Na? Let's say boat moves x distance in this direction. So this becomes 3 minus x. Okay. Plus, this is what? 65 plus 100, 165 into x. Okay. You can write in vector form. This is I cap. This is x minus I cap. Should be equal to 0. I can write 55 into 3 minus 55x equal to 165x. So this becomes 55 into 3 equal to 10. Then this 12, 220. Yes. 220 x. Okay. Anyhow, if the x is what? The boat has shifted, but they are asking center of mass of the system shift by. It will be 0. Okay. Same question they can ask, what if the boat has shifted by x distance? So with that you can find this. If they're asking center of mass, obviously it will be in rest, as I told in the first. Next. If the kinetic energy of a body increases by 4%, the momentum. See, kinetic energy is what? Kinetic energy is P square by 2m. Clear? Kinetic energy of body increases by 4%. Then the momentum. What will happen to the momentum? Yes. So kinetic energy is increasing. That means what? Ke2 minus Ke1 by Ke1 into 100 equal to 4, right? 4%. Then they are asking, what is the increase in momentum? I can write like this. Let's say this is K1, this is P1, this is K2, P2 square by 2m. 2m, 2m get cancelled. K1 by K2 will be Ke1 by Ke2. This will be how much? P1 by P2 whole square. Divide this. K2 by K1. This becomes K2 by K1. This is P2 by P1 whole square minus 1 equal to 4 by 100. Okay, so this becomes increase by 4%, right? Yes, final minus initial by initial into 100 equal to 4. So P2 by P1 whole square minus 1. This becomes what? P2 by P1 whole square. Na? Equal to 4 by 100 plus 1. 104 by 100. This is P2 square by P1 square. Okay. What they need? They are asking momentum. The momentum, obviously, it will increase by 2%. How to find increase in momentum? P2 minus P1 by P1 into 100. Put this P2 and P1 values in this equation. You'll get answer is 2%. Next. Ball of mass 2 kg, another of mass 4 kg are dropped together from 60 feet tall building. After a fall of 30 feet each towards Earth, their respective kinetic energy will be in the ratio. Okay, so velocity will be same, na? Kinetic energy is what? Half mv square, half m1 v square. Kinetic energy 2 will be half m2 v square. V square get cancelled, half will get cancelled. M1 by M2. So 2 by 4. Answer is 1:2. Clear? Next, question number 23. A 0.5 kg ball is thrown up with an initial speed 14 meter per second and reaches a maximum height of 8 meters. How much energy is dissipated by air drag acting on the body during the ascent? Energy dissipated. 0.5 kg ball is thrown up with the initial speed. This is 0.5 kg. This is thrown up with initial speed how much? 14 meter per second and reaches maximum height of 8 meter. How much energy is dissipated by air drag? So I can write work done by conservative force, non-conservative force plus work done by external force equal to change in kinetic energy. Okay, this is 0. There is no external force. Work done by conservative force is negative of del U plus work done by non-conservative equal to final kinetic energy 0 minus initial kinetic energy half m u square. Clear? Now what I want, I need work done by non-conservative. So this will be del u minus half m u square. What is del u? Final mgh minus initial mgh 0. So this becomes mgh minus half m u square. Done. Yeah. Next, coming to next question. Question number 24. A body of mass 50 kg jumps to a height of 0.8 meter from the ground. Then momentum transferred by the ground to the boy is. So 50 kg jumps to a height of 8 meter from the ground. So it is jumping to a height of 0.8 meter. 0.8 meter from the ground. Okay. This is given 50 kg. Clear? So 50 kg is there. This is height is given how much? 0.8 meter from the ground. Then momentum transferred by the ground to boy. So obviously this becomes m. Changing kinetic energy is what? Mgh into g is how much? 10 into h. H is how much? 0.8 by 10. By the ground to boy. Yes. Answer should be momentum transfer is nothing but, yeah, it should be not, I think it should be A 40. Coming to the next question, question number 25. A particle is acted upon a force of constant magnitude which is always perpendicular to the velocity of the particle. The motion of the particle takes place in the plane follows that. Okay, force is perpendicular to velocity, na? Force is perpendicular to velocity. So velocity won't be constant because direction is changing, but kinetic energy will be constant. It's a scalar quantity. It's a scalar quantity. Okay. Next. 26. Angular velocity of minute hand. Angular velocity. Time period of minute hand is what? 2 pi r distance travel, na? By it is taking in how much time? 1 minute, right? With this, you can find angular velocity. Time period is what? 2 pi by omega. Next. Question number 27. The equation of progressive wave is given. If x and y are measured in centimeter, then velocity of wave. Velocity of wave is coefficient of t divided by coefficient of x. Coefficient of t is what? Pi by 2 into 8. Coefficient of x is what? Pi by 2 into 16. With this, you will get option D. Question number 28. Graph between wave number and angular frequency omega is. Wave number is k, angular frequency is omega. So graph will be B here. Angular frequency. So when wave number is 0, there is some angular frequency. But as wave number increases, angular frequency will keep on decreasing. It is not constant. So option B is correct. When it is 0, wave number, it is increasing, na? Wave number is 0, angular frequency is 0. As wave number is increasing, angular frequency is also increasing. So option B is correct, not C. Wave number is increasing, angular frequency should increase. Next. Two waves of wavelength 2 meter and 2.02 meter respectively moving with the same velocity and superimposed to produce 2 bits per second. Velocity of the wave is. Wavelength is given. Wavelength 1 is 2 meter. Wavelength 2 is 2.02 meter. Okay. Beats. What is beat? Beat is f2 minus f1. That is beat. Wavelength is given. I want frequency. So this is 2. 2 is f2 minus f1. How to find frequency? Distance table is equal to what? Speed or f lambda. Velocity is equal to f lambda. So f1 lambda 1 equal to f2 lambda 2. This is equation 1. And equation 2 is given. This is equation 2. With this, we can solve both the equations. We'll get velocity of the wave. Option C. Next. Question number 30th. Standing wave has 3 nodes and 2 antinodes is formed between 1.21 Armstrong distance. Then the wavelength is. Standing wave has 3 nodes and 2 antinodes. So 3 nodes and 2 antinodes. Three nodes and 2 antinodes. Okay, formed between this length is given 1.21 Armstrong. Obviously, this is the wavelength, right? Option A. Question number 31. A siren blows in workshop emits wave of frequency 1000 Hertz. The car driver approaches the workshop with velocity 90 km/h. Then frequency of sound heard by the driver will be. Doppler's effect question. What is Doppler's effect formula? F is equal to F naught V plus minus velocity of observer by V plus minus velocity of source. Who is the source here? Siren blown of workshop emits frequency. F naught is given 1000 Hertz. Clear? Driver approaches the workshop with velocity 90. So source is emitting frequency is given F naught. And this is the driver. Driver is approaching. Velocity of observer is given 90. Velocity of observer is given. Now velocity of source is 0 because it is at rest. So V is given. Velocity of sound 330 meter per second. Velocity of sound is given. Observer is given. F naught is given. You can find F. Clear? Vs is 0. Vs is 0. Yes. Coming to the next question. Question number 32. Four similar point masses, each of mass m, are placed on the circumference of disk of mass m of radius r. Moment of inertia of the system about the normal axis to the. Okay. So here there are 5 things. 4 masses and 1 disk. Moment of inertia of point mass is how much? M small r square. Moment of inertia of disk is equal to m r square by 2. R is perpendicular distance. Clear? So this mass is given capital M, radius is given capital R. So moment of inertia will be half m r square plus for them m r square, but there are 4 masses, so into 4. So option B is correct. Next, question number 35. A wheel has moment of inertia 5 into 10 power minus 3 kg meter square is making 20 revolutions per second. I is given, omega is given. Torque needed to stop it in 10 seconds. Time is given. So I want torque. So this is initial omega. Na? Final omega will be how much? 0. Time is given. So I want torque. So to find torque is equal to what? I times alpha. I need to find alpha. Alpha is what? Final angular velocity minus initial angular velocity divided by time. So this will, what is final angular velocity? 0. Initial is 20 revolutions per second. By time is given 10 seconds. You need to convert revolution per second into radian per second. Okay. So 21 revolution is what? 2 pi radian by second. So this becomes 40 pi radian per second. 40 0 will cancel. It is 4 pi radian per second square. Use this alpha here in this equation, first equation, and I What is I? What will keep I? I will be half mr square. Half mr square into alpha. Alpha is 4 pi. Solve it, you will get option A. Next, coming to question number 34. 34, what is given? A ring is rolling without slipping. Its energy of translation is E. This total kinetic energy will be. Total kinetic energy is what? Total kinetic energy is rotational kinetic energy plus translational kinetic energy. It is rolling without slipping. So it's when it is rolling, total kinetic energy will be, its translational kinetic energy is E. See, when it is without slipping means what here? V is equal to R omega. V is equal to R omega. So translational kinetic energy is E. Rotational kinetic energy is also equal to same, right? Rotational kinetic energy will also be equal to E, na? This is total. Total kinetic energy equal to rotational kinetic energy plus translation. Translation is given E. Now it is pure rolling, na? Pure rolling, V is equal to R omega. In pure rolling, rotation will also be equal to same. So E plus E, answer will be 2. 34. Question number 35. A small steel sphere of mass m is tied to a string of length L, length R, and is whirled in a horizontal circle with a uniform angular velocity 2 omega. The string is suddenly pulled so that the radius of the circle is halved. The new angular velocity will be. Okay, this question is from conservation of angular momentum. L1, L initial equal to L final. Okay, L initial is equal to L final. Now L initial is what? I1 omega 1 equal to I2 omega 2. Now omega 1 is given 2 omega. String is suddenly pulled, so the radius circle is half. The new angular velocity omega 2 you need to find. Now moment of inertia will also change. Moment of inertia is what? mr squared. So mass will cancel, but radius will differ. Radius is r, and second radius is what? R by 2. So that means r square into 2 omega will be equal to, that is r by 2 whole square into omega 2. R square cancel. So answer will be 2 square 4, 8 omega. 8 omega. Question number 35. Next, coming to next question. Question number 36. At what temperature does the temperature in Celsius and Fahrenheit equalize? Very general question. Option A is correct. These are few general questions which you should remember. If you want to solve, you can go with the temperature scale and you should equate Celsius and Fahrenheit degrees. Next, minus 48 degrees. The coefficient of thermal conductivity depends upon thermal conductivity, K. Temperature difference, no. Area of the plate, no. Thickness of plate, no. It depends on material of the plate. It depends on material of the plate. Thermal conductivity. Question number 38. Curve of a perfect black body, frequency corresponding to maximum emission of radiation. This is frequency, temperature. See, frequency and temperature, right? It will be increasing because lambda is decreasing. Lambda decreases with temperature, it is increasing. That means frequency will increase. Frequency will increase. So it should be option B. This is Wein's theorem, right? sorry, lambda increases now. Lambda increases. So frequency will also increase. Bayes theorem. Right. Bayes theory is lambda m times temperature equal to B. So lambda m and temperature are inversely proportional. So lambda m decreases as the increase in temperature. So frequency will also increase. Question number 38. Find the approximate number of molecules contained in the vessel, 7 liters, at 0 degrees Celsius at pascals. So pressure is given 1.3 into 10 power 5 pascal, and volume is given 7 liters. Temperature equal to 0 degrees Celsius. So with this, how you find PV is equal to, I can write NKT, capital N, NKT. P is given, V is given, K we know, T is temperature. We can find number of molecules. Option A will be correct. We need to convert 7 liters into meter cube. How to convert? 10 power 3. Okay, 10 power 3. Sorry. 1 meter cube equal to 1000 liter. With this, you can convert liters to meter cube. Only then use this formula. PV is equal to NKT. 40. A cyclic process ABC as shown in PT diagram where represented on PV it's shown. So PT diagram is given. Which diagram is for PV? PT diagram is given. So PT diagram, what is given here? C to A, pressure and temperature. Pressure, as temperature increasing, pressure is also increasing. A to B, temperature is pressure is constant. A to B, pressure is constant. So in PV diagram, pressure should be constant A to B, na? Where pressure is constant? A to B pressure is constant. See, A to B pressure is constant. Option A, pressure is constant in A to B. Option B, B to A pressure is constant. Option C, A to B pressure is constant. Then B to C, temperature is constant. B to C, temperature is constant. Pressure is decreasing. That means volume should B to C. Temperature is constant. Pressure is increasing. That means volume should decrease. B to C. Volume should decrease. Inversely proportional, na? So B to C inversely proportional. Option C will be correct. A to B, pressure is constant. Pressure is constant. Okay. Then B to C, volume is inversely proportional. Pressure is inversely proportional to B because temperature is constant. So option C is correct. RMS velocity of H2 is 2 into 10 power 3 meter per second. What will be the RMS velocity of O2 molecule at the same temperature? VRMS equal to root over 3 RT by, use this formula. It's a ratio, right? Same temperature means 3 RT will cancel, root over M2 by M1. VRMS 1 by VRMS 2 equal to root over M2 by M1. Question number 42. Question number 42. The RMS velocity of molecule of a gas in a container is double, then pressure will become 4 times. RMS velocity is doubled, right? The pressure will become 4 times. Pressure is what? Half M times VRMS whole square. Half M times VRMS whole square. So double, then pressure becomes 4 times. Option A. Option 3, 43. So question 43. Oxygen and hydrogen gas are at temperature T. Then kinetic energy of molecule of oxygen gas is equal to how many times kinetic energy of molecules of hydrogen gas? Same temperature, right? Same temperature. And both are diatomic gas. I want kinetic energy. So this becomes equal, same temperature, right? So it becomes equal. 44. The thermodynamics process pressure of a fixed mass of gas is changed in such a manner that the gas resists 20 joules of heat and 8 joules of work is done on the gas. Internal energy of the gas was 30 joules. Then the final energy will be. Yes, it's the first law of thermodynamics. Q work heat supplied to the system is worked in by the system plus delta U. Heat supplied is how much? That the gas releases 20 joules of heat. So heat released minus 20 will be there. And 8 of work is done on the gas. Work is done on the gas, that is minus 8 plus U final minus U initial 30. So this becomes 38 minus 20, 18 joules. 38 minus 20 equal to U final, 18 joules. Question number 45. The vessel contains an ideal monoatomic gas which expands at constant pressure. When the heat Q is given to it, the work done in expansion is ideal monoatomic gas. Monoatomic degree of freedom is what? F is equal to 3. Expands at constant pressure. That means isobaric. When heat Q is given to it, work done in expansion. So isobaric process what? Q is equal to work done plus del U. Degree of freedom is 3. So del U will be heat Q is given to is then the work done in expansion. I want work done. Q minus del U equal to work done. Del U will be how much? Under constant pressure, del U will be Q. Use this formula Q minus del U. Del U NCV delta T. NCV delta T. Degree of freedom is 3. CV is how much? F by 2 into R. With this CV formula, you will get del U. Once you use this del U here, you will get work done is equal to Q minus del U. Option C is correct. 2 by 5. 46. 420 joules of energy supplied to 10 gram of water will rise the temperature by nearby. So Q is what? MC del T. Na? This is given 420 joules. M is 10 grams. C is given 1. Delta T. T final. But increase in temperature. Just directly you can write del T. Supplied to 10 grams of water will rise its temperature by nearly. Option 420 joules of energy supplied to 10 grams of water. Yes. Nearly. It will be 42, not C. So it will be D. Next. 47. The power radiated by black body is P and it radiates maximum energy around the wavelength lambda naught. Now the temperature of the black body is changed so that it radiates maximum energy around wavelength lambda by 2. The power radiated becomes power here. Power is what here? See, heat radiated equal to heat. So power will be E by E into A, and E is what? Sigma times T power 4. So power is equal to sigma T power 4 times A. And T is what? Lambda times T equal to B. So T will be B by lambda. So I can write this one B power 4. This is lambda power 4 times A. So power is inversely proportional to 1 by lambda power 4. Using this formula, you can use option C. Next, question number 48. Heat is supplied to a diatomic gas at constant pressure. The ratio, constant pressure, ratio delta Q is to del U is to work done. Del Q will be what? Diatomic means F is equal to 5. Del Q is N C P del T. Then del U is what? N C V del T. Okay. So Cp is how much? F by 2 plus 1 into R. That means 5 by 2 plus 1. That means 7 by 2 R. And into 7 by 2 R del T. This becomes del U equal to N into 5 by 2 R del T. Del T and cancel, R will cancel. This becomes 7:5. Option C is correct. 48. Next, 49. If the force is given by F is equal to AT plus BT square with time T as time, dimension of A and B. Dimension of A and B. So dimension of A, see, force is what? Mass times acceleration. Mass is kg meter per second square equal to A times this is what? Second. So A will be how much? Kg meter per second cube. That means mLT minus 3. mLT minus 3, option B. Question number 50, last question. Which the following phenomena is not absorbed by sound waves? Reflection is absorbed, refraction is absorbed, polarization is only property of transverse wave, and sound wave is a longitudinal wave. So polarization is not absorbed. So thank you, students. I hope you have understood all the solution. So all the best for the next test, which is full portion 12th. Till then, prepare well. Thank you.